Good morning, students of 9th. In this period of geography, we are seeing the rotation and revolution of the earth. In the last class, you saw the position of the earth regarding the sun on different dates. Among those, 4 dates are very important. First is 21st March, then 23rd September, then 21st June, and 4th 22nd December. These two on 21st March, these two are equinox. First one is spring equinox, second is autumn equinox, third is summer solstice, and fourth is winter solstice. One by one we will see the explanation of all these four. And after that we will do the comparative study. So this is the last topic of this chapter. Our aim is to do comparative study of all these important phenomena on the earth. So 21st March, number one, the earth is neither tilted nor away from the sun. The sunshine fall vertically. The sunshine falls vertically. It is neither tilted nor away from the sun. Neither tilted nor away from the sun. Third, the distance between the sun and the earth remains equal. Fourth, the length of the day and the night are equal, that is 12 hours. Means the length of the day and the length of the night will be equal of 12 hours. Number 5, on 21st March, the northern hemisphere experiences spring season. And on 23rd September. SCPT is the short form September it experiences autumn season. Number 6, 21st March is also considered as the first day of Indian calendar. So these many features are, we don't say 21st March, here we say equinox. Equinox. So it has 6 features. The first is the sun shines vertically above the sunshine fall vertically, we say, on the earth. On the earth, it is neither tilted nor away from the sun. Third, the distance between the sun and the earth remains equal. Fourth, so the length of the day and the length of the night also remain equal, that is of 12 hours. And fifth, on 21st March, the northern hemisphere experiences spring season, and on 23rd September, northern hemisphere experiences autumn season, and it is just reverse in southern hemisphere. For this point, this situation is just reverse, just opposite in southern hemisphere. And number 6, in Hindu calendar, in Indian calendar, 21st March is also considered as the new day or the first day of the calendar. So these are the features, 6 features of equinox. Now the second phenomenon is summer solstice. Summer solstice. Point number 1, the sun rays fall vertically above the Tropic of Cancer. Number 2, the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, and the southern hemisphere remains away from the sun. Third point, the northern hemisphere gets extreme heat while the southern hemisphere gets less heat. Number 4, far off the Arctic Circle remains lighted and near of the Antarctic Circle remains in dark of the earth. Number 5, the length of the day is longer and nights are shorter in the northern hemisphere. As we move away from the equator, the length of the day increases. So these 5 characteristics I repeat about the summer solstice. You know the date of summer solstice is 22nd June. On this date, the sun rays fall vertically above the Tropic of Cancer. The northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun and the southern hemisphere remains away from the sun. Therefore, the northern hemisphere gets extreme heat while the southern hemisphere gets less heat. Number 4, the far of the Arctic Circle remains lighted and near of the Antarctic Circle remains in dark of the earth. And number 5, that affects the length of the day. The length of the day are longer and nights are shorter in northern hemisphere. As we move away from the equator, means towards the higher latitudes, then the length of day increases, and this phenomenon is found just opposite in the southern hemisphere. For that we can write 6 feature 6. The length of the nights increases. The length of the nights are longer, and the days are shorter. Days are shorter in the southern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, as we move away from the equator, it means towards higher latitudes in southern hemisphere. As we move away from the equator, the length of days decrease. So these 6 features belong to summer solstice, and all these features are related. Most of these features are related to the tiltation of the earth. One more phenomenon is left, that is the winter solstice. After this we will see a winter solstice. Now we will see the features of winter solstice. Those occur on 22nd December. The first is the sun rays fall vertically above the Tropic of Capricorn. On this date, the southern hemisphere, remains tilted towards the sun, and the northern hemisphere remains away from the sun. So what happens? The northern hemisphere gets less heat, while the southern hemisphere gets more heat. Next feature, near of the Arctic Circle remains in dark, while far of the Antarctic Circle remains in light of the earth. Then, what is the effect of the length of the day and length of the night? The days are longer and nights are shorter in the hemisphere, in the southern hemisphere, the length of day, the length of the day increases as we move away from the equator. And the last, number 6, days are shorter in the northern hemisphere days are shorter in northern hemisphere. Days are shorter. In this way we write, days are shorter and nights are longer in northern hemisphere as we move away from the equator the length of the day decreases. These 6 phenomena. So overall, what are we seeing? That summer solstice, in summer solstice, the northern hemisphere experiences summer and southern hemisphere experiences winter. But in winter solstice, the northern hemisphere experiences winter and southern hemisphere experiences summer. And there are these 6 features of winter solstice. So what are we seeing? Almost there are these points are just opposite, sometimes similar in all these 3 phenomena. Those are equinox, summer solstice and winter solstice. So I suggest to do comparative study. If you prepare this topic through comparative study, that memory will be long lasting.